But ALUF drew clear, and ALUF a bit too tough for them, wins it well.
Yeah, an absolute ripping result there with ALUF. He's actually, we've found the trick to that horse. His 1,000 metre form is really, really good, and the tempo of the races, sort of, they go really solid, and you can sort of sit right on their hammer, and he gives a good kick at the end. So he won his last two. I suppose he deserves a crack at something a little bit stronger. I'll have a good look around, but he might even, whether he's not up to Melbourne, I'm not really sure, but he certainly might be up to an Adelaide sort of race in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, now a couple of really nice horses going to run this week. I'm really keen to go to the races. Now, got Mannza in. I'm going to drop her back. We've been sort of toying with her a little bit and what distance is the best distance to run her over. At the end of the day, 1,400 metre form is very, very good. She's just been getting beaten a length or less. So I'm going to throw a set of blinkers on her and go back to her 1,400 at Seymour. She raced track and distance a couple of weeks ago and wasn't all that far away from us. Didn't really travel all that well in the run. So I'm going to blinker her up. Hopefully that just lands her a couple of lengths closer in the run, and if it does, she'll be winning on Monday, and that's all she needs to do is just reproduce what the run that she put in the other day. So that'll be Monday at Seymour. Will be Mannza in a 1,400 metre 64. Head off then to Bendigo Tuesday. Now I've got a couple of staying 3-year-olds, and geez, I had no luck through the week. I ran High Show the other day, and he banged his leg and come back with a massive tendon, and we actually thought he'd done some tendon damage, but 24 hours later the tendon was back to normal, and he'll work up hard. We'll give him a solid gallop here on Friday. I expect him to work well, and if he does, he'll go to Bendigo on Tuesday. We also took up Matasanek to Chuka the other day, and he started short price favourite, and he was expected to win, and he tracked into the race beautifully, and then he just didn't finish off. I'm really worried about him. Come back in and he'd lost a shoe, and was quite sore and quite sensitive on the foot, so it's probably a legitimate excuse, but he sort of needs to win a race, this horse. But so we've put the shoe back on, and he's been 100% since. So he'll probably gallop with High Show on Friday. If he works up okay, he'll also go to a 2,200 metre race on at Bendigo on Tuesday. We'll kick a horse off called Mannza. Now we put him in the paddock, and he just the reason he went to the paddock was because he was so light in condition, and he had a big long spell. I brought him back in, and he just lost condition again, so I put him back in the paddock, give him more time, and then we've got him back into work. Done a ton of work with him, and he's just now starting to hold his condition. He's a really lightly framed horse, and I think he's probably going to reach his peak as a bloody 5-year-old or something, but he's very sound, big, probably his longest striding horses I've ever trained. He's a massive, big, long striding horse, and he's just had a couple of tiny little issues, but I think we've just about got him right. He's not fast enough to be competitive under a mile, so I'm going to kick him off straight away in a mile race. Done plenty of work with him, and as I said, the last couple of weeks he's just held his condition, if not just starting to put on a little bit of condition. So I'm just hoping that after a couple of race starts he's actually going to train on rather than sort of go backwards. So he'll kick off in a mile race at Bendigo on Tuesday. They'll probably be a little bit sharp for him, but I think the distance and the track will really suit him. He'll then head off to Geelong on Wednesday. Now, Miss Matilda won pretty well in a 2,200 metre maiden the other day. I'm going to have a crack and step her up to 2,400. It's big track, should suit her. Whether she can handle that jump in rise in grade, I'm not really sure, but I think it's worthwhile throwing her in the deep end a little bit, run her in a really strong race, and it's probably going to tell us exactly where we're at with her. She's been placed a heap of times. She ran 4 seconds in a row, then eventually won a race. So let's throw in a decent graded race, have a good look at her, and make a good assessment on exactly where we're at. Horse could not possibly be in better condition, so she'll go as good as she possibly can, and so we'll walk away from the races on Wednesday knowing exactly where her future sort of lays. G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse is a horse called Mannza. He's the last start winner. He's back into work now, and he'll run first up at Bendigo on Tuesday. He probably had to give him a bit longer out. He sort of come into work and just struggled to hold condition on him, and actually had to put him back out and then brought him back in. But since coming back in the second time, he seems to have held his weight a bit better and probably matured up, and probably just handling life as a racehorse a bit better this time in. So he's probably never a horse that's going to put on massive amounts of weight, but it's just maintaining that weight and keeping him fit and healthy and happy, and just got that little bit of condition on him when he sort of has his first up run. So he'll go to Bendigo on Tuesday, and I expect a pretty forward run from him over 1,600.
Hi guys, as we mentioned last week, we went to Launceston for 6 rides over there. A couple of them run some really nice placings at big odds, so really looking forward to sticking with them next start. For the week ahead, mostly got all my rides on the weekend so far. We go to Ararat for 2 rides there on the Saturday, and on Sunday we're back over to Tassie again for Devonport on the synthetic for 7 rides there, and probably at least 3 or 4 of them should go pretty good. So hopefully we're going to have a pretty good weekend, and hopefully got a winner or two to talk about next week.
That's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Now Winx has her final race start this week, so interesting to see. Queen Elizabeth Stakes, it's only worth a couple of million, I suppose, so good luck to her. Interesting to see what stallion she goes to, won't it? Wonder if they'll go to a big European stallion or she'll stick to an Aussie one, not sure. Sydney sales were pretty interesting. I think they averaged 400,000 the first day, so yeah, gone to the battlers, isn't it? But interesting to see how many of those horses are actually any good. Probably only half a dozen are any good, and I think it's averaging 400,000. So even ALUF won at Mornington the other day, and I don't know what ALUF would have bought as a yearling, but he wouldn't have bought a real lot. I see the horse that started favourite and ran 4th, they paid $1.4 million for, so yeah, someone's done their balls there, haven't they? Anyway, until next week, see you later.
And we're off to we're off to Devonport, aren't we? Hopefully we can find a few winners during the week, and I've already done my button. Start again. Yeah.